Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to go and have a little bit of a look at the best products which are available to buy right now. We do this every little while, where I come and I give you a bunch of advice and I tell you what it is that you need to know, what you should be going for. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what we're doing today. And I want to start off with collectors, but I'm a little bit sad because my advice hasn't changed on this. It's been weeks since we did this before. There's been plenty of time for me to change my mind and change my opinion. I haven't. I'm sorry. My advice remains the same. Right now, and this is actually very, very well timed, because we are days away, at least as I record this, from the release of the Pokémon TCG Classic. And when it comes to awesome things to collect, there has never been a better thing than the Pokémon TCG Classic. And this is why, even though I'm kind of repeating myself and copying my own homework here, I kind of have to. Because there's nothing else here. Like, not even close. There is nothing else which comes close at this stage. This is, by a fairly wide margin, the coolest thing. Actually, right as I said coolest thing, I'm going to be honest with you, I just saw something pop up over on the Pokemon Center. It's a mouse hold hoodie, which I definitely do not need in my life. But the Pokemon TCG Classic, I know an awful lot of people do. And here's the thing, right? This is the very definition of a premium product. It's $400 in the US, £400 in the UK, and I know there are a lot of people out there that are really upset at the fact that this is so expensive and don't think it's worth it, and my answer to all of you is that's kind of the point. This is designed as a very, very, very premium product. It's designed to appeal to only the biggest Pokemon TCG nerds around. And I don't say nerds as an insult, I consider myself to be one of the biggest Pokemon TCG nerds around. And frankly, I think I've put together a pretty good resume to prove it. My point is, yes, this is super expensive. Yes, this is going to put a massive dent in your bank balance. And yes, it was always designed to be like that. This was the point. This has been the point since day one. But that also is why it's such a good product for collectors. If you want to build yourself a good collection of Pokemon TCG stuff, you want to be picking up the stuff that other people aren't picking up. That's the point. Not everyone is going to pick this up. I have seen this. Initially, it seemed like it was going to be very difficult to get hold of. It's now actually become much easier to get hold of, which is lovely. But I am actually seeing this being made available much more widely than a lot of people would have been expecting. Because it's not selling out quite as quick as some people would think. Because it is so gosh darned expensive. You get yourself your mat, the briefcase that folds into the mat, and you've got yourself your free decks built around the first partner Pokemon and your deck boxes and all of that. I know a lot of people don't think it's worth $400, and that's understandable. But the fact of the matter is, if you want to collect, this is it. So yeah, in terms of if you're building a collection, no, it's not cheap, but this is definitely what you should be going for. If you do want something collecting, which is on the slightly cheaper end, the Mew Ultra Premium Collection is out now. It has not sold out anything like what we were imagining, which means that it is actually going to be much easier to get hold of. It does come with those promos, which are amazing, and it comes with the gold card and the playmat, and just, it's brilliant, right? And I know not everybody wants it, and that's absolutely fine, but this is a very cool, very premium product, and it's not, I don't think, on the same level as the Classic, but it is still an extremely cool thing that I think you should have in your mind. If you're learning to play, the answer is still my first battle. Now, I will say that is if you're trying to teach young people, kids or absolute noobs. I am trying to teach kids. I told you I was going to get both of these for my birthday from my in-laws, and I did. I got both of them. I'm delighted. I'm going to teach my daughter how to play. She's 5. It's brilliant. Love it. This is a very simplified version of the Pokémon TCG with 17 card decks and no prize cards, and actually a bunch of it all exclusive cards with different borders and different backs, and it's wonderful. But it's very, very simple. If you're teaching newer players to play, if they're kids, you're going to get some mileage out of this, and they're brilliant. If, however, you are teaching people that are going to want to move on and actually play the Pokémon TCG proper, you are going to run out of this very quickly. And I'll be honest with you, this is going to run out very quickly. So your next port of call, I'm going to skip over what I usually say, and I'm just going to say EX decks. And I do think EX decks are the way to go. They come out every so often, and they just give you a complete deck. And you can go and buy a bunch of them, and you can just learn to play like that. I used to say theme decks a lot, because theme decks are absolutely the way to go. But now I do think we are at a stage where the Battle Academy that I used to tell you about, that's a little bit out of date at this point. And I think if you want to be going for, hey, I'm learning to play the game, I want to take this seriously, go for the EX decks. And there are a bunch out there. We've got Ampharos, we've got Lucario. Incidentally, both of those are completely exclusive cards, as is Greninja. These are cards that cannot be found elsewhere. Complete exclusive cards that are amazing. Okay, they're not amazing in terms of playability. They're just really cool cards you can't get elsewhere, is what I'm trying to say here. And, yeah, that would be my recommendation. You've also got Tinkaton, Kangaskhan, and Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao is actually the best of all the ones we're talking about. Chien-Pao is the best card. But these are just alternate arts. All those cards are available in the set. These are just different versions of the same card. They're exactly the same in terms of playability. They just look a little bit different. Still very cool, but there we go. And honestly, if you want to learn to play the game and you don't want to go super competitive super quickly, which I know we're all in a hurry nowadays, honestly, the best way to learn a card game is not to get super competitive and just enjoy playing for a little while. But I understand we want to go to regionals, etc., so I'll get to that in a second. But if you're not too worried about getting too competitive too quickly, my advice is go and pick up a bunch of these EX decks. They tend to be they're pretty cheap to begin with, but they tend to go down in price. You tend to find these on sale more often than a lot of other products. And then you can just sit there and chill and play a bunch of different decks and have some fun. If you do want to get competitive quickly, League Battle Decks. It's simple as that. League Battle Deck is absolutely the way to go. Miraidon is the most recent one, and actually, to be clear, Miraidon is a top deck right now. And the version we've got in here is the Regieleki V Max version, which isn't the best version out there, admittedly, but the core of the deck is there. You can buy this, go on, say, limitlesstcg.com, find a winning Miraidon deck list. I don't know, maybe we go for the one that just won a regional the other day. Over in Toronto, JW Creewell went and won with Miraidon. So go and find that list on Limitless TCG and then just buy a few singles. Boom. Literal regional winning level deck. The other one, which is really good at the moment, is the Mew V Max. That is also still a top level deck. So that is one you should be keeping an eye out for. Although, did kind of no-show in Toronto. I'll be honest with you, was a little bit of a no-show in Toronto, it was there, it was in day 2, obviously. When I say no-show, I mean no danger of ever winning the tournament whatsoever. But then again, like just before that, and when I say just before, I mean literally the weekend before, Consta Kalama went and won in Lille with Mew. So basically, these have won the last 2 regionals. They're clearly very, very good. There are a bunch of other ones out there. You've got ones like Inteleon, for instance, which is quite cool. You got things like Rapid Strike, Urshifu, which is a good deck right now, although to be fair, the way it's constructed is quite different from the League Battle deck, so you have been warned about that. The thing is, these are all a little bit out of date now, so you're not necessarily going to be able to go and, pick this up and just play the deck as is at a tournament. They are a little out of date. Although, worth pointing out, remember we do have the World Championship decks as well, which have been printed, and they were decks that did very well at Worlds last year, and admittedly, some of them are a little out of date, so we've rotated since, and they're not tournament legal. You have to remember they're not tournament legal, but these are also great if you want to learn to play the game competitively. Just please don't take them to tournaments. Now, in terms of presents for kids, I'm going to go really specific here. I'm going to go for the Pokémon TCG holiday calendar. Now, I will say this is on the more expensive end for what I would usually recommend for kids. It's like something like $40 product, which is fine, but it depends on your budget. It's fine for what it is, but like I say, this isn't going to be in everybody's budget, and I acknowledge that. I'll give you some alternatives in a second. But it's like a full-on advent calendar, as we would say in the UK. It's very much a case of you get a bunch of doors, one for each day up until Christmas, and then behind every door is a present. You get promo cards and packs and some things that aren't as good as them. But you get promo cards and packs, and I'm actually very lucky. The lovely folks at the Pokemon Company International did send me one of these, but I haven't done an opening. I'm probably going to do like a tweet every day. I'm literally waiting until the 1st of December, and I'm going to get to the 1st of December. I'm going to open one of these every day, and it's going to be awesome. If you don't want to go and get this, EX boxes, they've been the ones I've been suggesting for a while. They're the ones I'm going to suggest now. Specifically, I'm going to suggest the Iron Valiant EX and Roaring Moon EX boxes, which I don't think are actually quite out yet. As I record this, I'm just going to go and double check the date on these because I don't want to lie to you. That would be very, very sad. They're actually coming out on November the 17th, which is actually the same day as the TCG Classic and the same day as the Miraidon League Battle Deck. So give it a couple of days, all these products are coming out and it's going to be awesome. Man, that's a really good day. There is something for everybody on November the 17th. That's a great day. But anyway, my point is, these are going to be great. You get yourself a jumbo. Kids love the jumbos. You get yourself a legitimately playable card. Both Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant are very playable cards. And you get a couple other little holo cards as well. Plus, you get yourself your packs. So, yeah, that's what I'm suggesting for kids, ladies and gentlemen. In terms of Wasi picks, I'm going to tell you this. Japanese boxes, because something has happened over the past couple of weeks, and what has happened over the past couple of weeks are that we've seen a couple of sets. Specifically, I'm talking about Raging Surf and Ruler of the Black Flame have gotten like cheap, way cheaper than intended. You can pick up boxes of these way cheaper than normal. Now, Ruler of the Black Flame, I'm having a look. It's not quite as cheap as I was hoping, but legitimately Raging Surf is out there for like 55. Oh, no, actually, I'm having a look. There are some on eBay, and you got to be a bit careful with eBay, all right? But there are some on eBay for like 55 as well, Ruler of the Black Flame. So, yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's happened, but those two sets specifically have randomly gone like really cheap. So I would recommend quite highly going after those, frankly. I think they're really cool sets. Raging Surf's a really fun set. And I know not everybody wants to pick up Japanese boxes, and that's absolutely fine. This is the end of the video. This is the Wasi pick. And if it's not, let's say you're Dave. Hi, Dave. I hope you're enjoying the video, Dave. I'm sure there's some person watching it called Dave. And just to be clear, Dave, I am talking specifically to you here and nobody else. I hope you personally, Dave, are really enjoying this video. But even if it's not a Dave pick, that's absolutely fine. This is a Wasi pick, and I think these boxes, especially Raging Surf, they have crashed in price lately. And I know not every Japanese set is easy to get hold of, but I love Japanese cards, and seeing that they're more available is making me happy. There's my Wasi pick. Now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me how excited you are. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And of course, get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely unknown one, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for both the support and the loveliness. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.